Tesla has built its reputation on technological superiority, and that means that Tesla-only features often persuade customers to pick one of its electric vehicles over another EV from a rival company. First of all, there's the very simple truth that Tesla has never produced, nor will ever produce, an internal combustion engine vehicle. It's not part of the massive legacy automakers who have all sold heavily polluting cars and done their bit to make anthropogenic climate change worse. And for a lot of people, including those who are still angry about the crushing of so many good electric vehicles by mainstream automakers 20 years ago, that's reason enough to opt for a Tesla. And then there's the fact that Tesla's supercharger network is the most reliable and convenient electric car charging network in the world. It's easy to use, fast, and modern Teslas even handle the route planning for you, making long-distance trips a complete breeze. We hear from viewers regularly, in fact, that the supercharger network is a huge factor in people deciding to buy a Tesla car, even though Tesla is about to open up the supercharger network. Let's not forget the over-the-air software updates either, the direct-to-customer sales model, and in some areas, service staff that will visit you rather than require you to visit your local service centre. And of course, the long range between chargers and incredible acceleration. Then there's Autopilot, the feature first announced back in 2016 that would, Tesla promised, pave the way towards a future where Tesla owners would one day be driven by their cars, not drive their cars themselves. It would be a safer future with reduced accidents and fatalities, and it would be a future in which Tesla's entire fleet, enhanced by machine learning, would be able to tackle whatever the world threw at them far more confidently than any human driver might. Tesla called that system Autopilot, an allusion to the autopilot functionality found in most airplanes, which don't completely fly the plane for a pilot, but reduces their workload significantly, reduces potential human error, and ensures that when the pilot is required to take over, they're far more refreshed and able to fly than they might be had they flown the entire trip manually. But at the time it was revealed, Tesla said in a blog post that, quote, "All Tesla cars being produced now have full self-driving hardware," end quote, detailing how all Teslas would come with, quote, "the hardware needed for full self-driving capability at a safety level substantially greater than that of a human driver," end quote. Its first Autopilot system featured a powerful computer, 8 surround cameras offering 360-degree coverage, 12 ultrasonic sensors, and forward-facing radar. Noting that it would take some time before its full self-driving hardware would be activated for truly fully autonomous operation, Tesla said at the time that it would continue to validate and test the neural net technology at the heart of Autopilot, activating features via over-the-air software updates as they became ready. In its blog post at the time, it said, quote, "As always, our over-the-air software updates will keep customers at the forefront of technology and continue to make every Tesla, including those equipped with first-generation Autopilot and earlier cars, more capable over time." That was 5 years ago, and in the time since then, Tesla has offered customers the option to spec full self-driving at the point of purchase for a fee, with the understanding that as and when full self-driving was ready for the customers to use, Tesla would simply activate it via an over-the-air software update. The price of buying self-driving functionality has changed over time, from Tesla offering it to customers at the point of purchase for a $3,000 premium at one time, to one that's now risen to more than $10,000. And Tesla also promising that it would cost more to activate after purchase compared to at the point of sale. This, unsurprisingly, led many Tesla customers to shell out that extra money when they bought their cars, eager to ensure they didn't miss out on full self-driving at a price they felt they could afford. But Tesla also changed some of the terminology it used for Autopilot over the years, first calling it Autopilot, then Enhanced Autopilot, and more recently full self-driving. And opting for one of those features has never meant you'd get the other. In the intervening years, Tesla's Autopilot hardware and software has gone through many iterations, with today's Autopilot hardware fitted as standard at Tesla factories being far more capable than the hardware fitted to Teslas made 5 years ago. And in recent months, we've seen increasingly impressive Autopilot functionality tested and showcased through Tesla's full self-driving beta software test program. Over the weekend, as positive feedback from the latest FSD beta, FSD v9, rolled in, Tesla officially launched its full self-driving subscription service, allowing Tesla customers who didn't spec full self-driving at the point of purchase the ability to subscribe to the currently available FSD functions and eventually full self-driving functionality at a cost of $199 per month. But the actual matter of if your car is ready for FSD and how easy it will be to activate FSD subscription or full FSD after the point of purchase appears to be quite a quagmire worthy of some kind of flowchart hell. So today I'm going to try and explain this all and explain why this is really another example that Tesla should use a press department right about now. To start, it's important to understand what Tesla means by full self-driving. And no, I'm not talking about the debate over nomenclature. At the moment, no Tesla is capable of driving fully autonomously. People who purchased full self-driving currently have access to an expanded feature set compared to those with Tesla Autopilot. That includes features like automatic lane changing, navigation to highway exits without driver input, automatic parking, and smart summon. For now, that's what your 10,000 grand FSD purchase gets you, until the true autonomous features are unlocked at an as yet undetermined point in the future. Now, I know what you're going to say, but Nikki, I've seen videos on YouTube of Teslas doing far more than that. And you're right, you have. But that's because there's also a select group of Tesla drivers. Many are employees of the company, but others are just folks who got lucky and were selected, who are beta testing a far more capable suite of autonomous driving functions. Right now, Tesla says that even those beta testers have to keep their hands on the wheel and their attention on the road, as the system is still learning. But what it can do is already truly impressive. What the new FSD subscription offers is drivers to get access to those features I mentioned earlier that people who've already paid for full self-driving have, but people with just Autopilot don't. Subscribers don't have access to the features those beta testers are exploring just yet, though, like anyone else with FSD. And of course, the idea is that when full self-driving without driver input becomes a reality, the subscribers will gain all that it has to offer. Even so, for many owners, the features that are available are quite alluring. Our own Winter, who is currently driving cross-country in his husband's 2018 Model 3, with his husband of course, wanted to pick up an FSD subscription for their trip. Except he couldn't, because while Tesla previously said that all cars from 2016 onwards were shipping with hardware that would be capable of full self-driving operation when the software caught up, owners of older cars, specifically those which didn't have full self-driving at the point of purchase but have version 2.5 hardware, are finding that getting FSD isn't as easy as you'd think. The TLDR here is that customers who purchase full self-driving functionality at the point of purchase, i.e. customers who put down 3 to 10 grand on the hope that FSD would be pushed before they sold their car, have been getting hardware upgrades from Tesla for free. These hardware upgrades will make it possible for their car eventually to operate in full self-driving mode when Tesla flicks the switch. But some of those who purchased an older Tesla and did not order full self-driving, or whatever it was being called at the time, are now being asked to pay $1,500 for the hardware upgrade that Tesla says is essential to making full self-driving possible. In other words, Tesla said back in 2016 that your car will be capable of self-driving in the future when the software is ready to go live, but now says you'll have to pay extra if you didn't order full self-driving at the point of purchase, and your car happens to have version 2.5 or older Autopilot hardware, because version 3 and newer is the hardware that's required for FSD or FSD subscription to work. If you purchase your Tesla new, at least you should know if you ordered full self-driving or not. But for those who purchased their cars used, it really does appear to be a lottery. While Tesla is now stripping any FSD purchases from used cars it resells, it does appear a bit hit and miss for those who purchase their Tesla privately. Some people appear to still have access to advanced Autopilot, for example, while others don't. And I am not going to go down that rabbit hole because I've learned better. Sadly, if you purchased your car used, there's even less clarity over if your car will or won't get the upgrades for free, if your car shipped with version 2.5 hardware, that is. The whole thing is lighting up various Tesla forums, so let's try and boil this down a little with some important things to bear in mind. First up, it is important to note that there are many nuances that we're not going to go into here, because there's been multiple different hardware iterations of Autopilot, and because Tesla makes so frequent changes to the hardware, as and when they're ready to be pushed, rather than the end of a model year production cycle, that it gets pretty complicated trying to figure out who has what. However, the overwhelming majority of Tesla Model 3s on the road, the car that appears most affected by this all, have Autopilot hardware 3, not Autopilot hardware 2.5. This does mean that the majority of Model 3 customers and Model Y customers can sign up for full self-driving subscription with no issues. At least 10,200, though, appear to have hardware 2.5, based on our research, although that figure might be more. We just wanted you to know this for clarity. Second, I think it's very important to note that this topic is divisive. As is anything involving Tesla these days, there will be people arguing on both sides and undoubtedly throwing around some pretty large accusations. And as is often the case when covering Tesla, finding the actual middle ground on all of this is hard. Third, Tesla has, to this point, remained quiet on the issue. Without a press team and without a point of contact, save for Elon Musk's Twitter account, customers have not been able to get an answer, and that breeds negative experiences and frankly will affect Tesla's long-term reputation. Given the number of cars on the road made by Tesla, a fantastic achievement I might add, and the incredibly wide and varied experiences of all of those owners of all of those cars, anything we are saying here is by definition pretty generic. In preparing this video, I talked to Winter, who owns a Tesla Model 3 long-range rear-wheel drive. His car was spec'd at factory with enhanced Autopilot, something that's different to full self-driving I might add, but because he purchased it used, it didn't come with enhanced Autopilot or certain other features its first owner enjoyed, such as free connectivity for life. I have looked into both those who say that customers should be willing to pay $1,500 to upgrade their hardware, and those who say that Tesla should upgrade the hardware for free. And this leads to a quagmire of mixed messaging for both customers and fans of Tesla. And amusingly, Tesla's original blog post, the one from 2016 that says all Teslas will come with hardware capable of full self-driving, is still live on Tesla's website. There's no clarifications or amendments, and that looks bad for Tesla. Some would argue that the Tesla customers, those who chose to buy self-driving at point of purchase years ago, are the ones who supported Tesla's FSD dreams from the start, and that those who didn't opt to put money down on the service years before it became a reality don't deserve to jump in and demand a free upgrade. After all, they might argue, Elon Musk has been very clear that as time passes, the cost of self-driving activation on Tesla's cars has gone up and won't go down. And I can see the logic here. Those who've already paid for a feature and waited years to get it effectively loaned Tesla the money it needed to develop FSD. But at the same point, there are few industries out there where you'd be expected to purchase something years ahead of being actually able to use it. And that argument doesn't cater to those who couldn't afford FSD when they purchased their car, or purchased their car used. The flip side argument to all of this would be, why penalise them? Last week, we covered the story of a Tesla Model S owner who was suing Tesla for charging him idle fees at supercharger sites, arguing that Tesla sold him his car with free supercharging for life, something that he claims included being able to leave his car to charge, returning when convenient for him to continue his journey. And in that video, I argued, I think pretty clearly, why I felt in that case, while it may have had some technical merit somewhere in lawland, was a case I'd like to see lost by the plaintiff because it boiled down to just being a nice person. Tesla didn't stop his access to free charging for life, it just charged him for being inconsiderate and blocking the charging station from someone else using it. In short, I think Tesla is right to have charged him. But when it comes to full self-driving, however, I feel Tesla is in the wrong. Not only has a lack of PR department made it difficult to figure out exactly what Tesla's policy is, which has led to the stories I've heard of some customers who didn't order FSD at the point of sale getting upgraded and some not. If Tesla sold cars with the promise of hardware-ready full self-driving functionality in the future, then it seems unfair to tell customers with 2.5 hardware they need to upgrade their car's hardware at their own expense before full self-driving can even be run. And of course, remember here that the subscription service is to unlock full features at some point in the future, because FSD isn't out of beta yet. And let's be honest, the cost of helping customers get that upgrade is going to do wonders for the company's reputation, something that could come in handy as frustration over the years of being told that full self-driving is just around the corner have begun to wear thin on long-term Tesla owners. Just like Tesla learned when it backtracked on trying to charge owners to replace the center touchscreen system that needed to be replaced on certain Model S and X cars that had failed due to excessive and poor design of its components. So how about it, Elon? You've said plenty of times you want Autopilot and FSD to become the norm. So eat the cost and give the minority of customers who have older 2.5 hardware cars who didn't buy their car new with the option ticked, or maybe purchased their car used, the chance to join the Autopilot world too. After all, this isn't the first time Tesla's changed Autopilot hardware and then moved the goalposts. Now, is it? That's it for today. Please do hit subscribe and the bell if you haven't yet, as it should make sure you don't miss out on our videos, and do the same to our other two channels as well, Transport Evolved Take 2, and if you're in a hurry, Transport Evolved Shorts. Thanks on behalf of the entire TE crew go to the folks on my right for being our $15 to $49 a month Patreons. Special thanks to our $50 a month patrons, Andrew Martin, Guido Drahoa, Brophy Wolf, Anonymous Freak, Regine Fellows, Carl Hodgson, Gordon C., Paul Conway, Laura Sanborn, Anthony Coates, Denny Hyde, Sean Ueda, and Tesla in the Gong. And our deepest gratitude to our $100 a month Patreon supporters, John Lyons, Marcel Ward, Reggie Watts, JP Fagerback, Will Graylin, and Ian. If you'd like to join the ranks of wonderful supporters, you'll find links below to both Patreon and Ko-fi. You can chat with the team and TE fans over at Discord. And don't forget to check out our swag store. T-shirts like this one are available for you to buy today. Thanks for joining me, and as always, keep evolving.